at Crozier Oval. This is the Far North Coast Rugby Grand Final for 2019 between the Wollongbar Pioneers and the Casuarina Beach Barbarians. The Far North Coast Rugby Union is proudly sponsored by Coopers. Dwayne Neville here, your caller for the 2019 decider. As you can see there, the loyal contingent for the Casuarina Beach Barbarians and the Wollongbar Austinville Pioneers about to form a guard of honour. And as you just saw there in the previous live stream, the Mullumbimby Moonshiners winning the reserve grade grand final 30-20 over the Ballina Seahorses in memory of Tim Watkins, who of course had that tragic incident back in June. Of course, Tim Watkins was also a member of both the Mullumbimby Moonshiners and the Mullumbimby Giants in the NRRL. Join me for today's decider here at Crozier Oval. I'm joined here by Iniri Hewell, who plies his trade for the Bangalow Rebels. How's it feel being in the box today there, Iniri?
Feels good, mate. A little bit nervous, but I'm sure you can get me through. Looking forward to today's game. It should be a cracker.
And as you can see there, as we wait about five or so minutes before kickoff, let's give it the tail tape for the two teams here for the Wollongbar Pioneers. And leading in the engine room there, Matthew Wright, Bill Johnson and Lloyd Morgan are in the front row. And in the second row we have Matt Scott and Nick Penizzi. In the flanks, we have Austin Markward and Justin Kerr, and at number 8, we have Hamish Mould. And at scrum half, we have Lewis Holman, and in the rest of the back line, it's a bit of a family affair, led by Ben Damon at fly half, and he's there with also Josh and Ben Damon. And completing the back line, we have Alec Gibson, James Vidler, and at fullback, Sam Carey. On the bench, we have Jaden Reginado, Benji Teatea, Braden Whitney, Ian McRae, Andrew Ross, Nat Reguera, Matt Neen, and Jaden McDonald. Who do we need to know about the Casuarina Beach Barbarians there, Aniri?
Lining up for the Casuarina Beach Barbarians in the front row, we've got Abraham Buatava, Trent Ryan, and Robert Beechcroft. Locking down the scrum, we've got Chris Dowling and Elisa Tungindrau. In the back row, we've got Matthew Wallen, Ross Colvin, and Mitch Planson. In the halves, at 9, Webb Ellis, and at 10, the famous Vittorio Buatava. On the wing, we've got Richard White. In the midfield, we've got Rian Oliver and Hiroshi Takayama. On the other wing, Graham Dodge. At fullback, Kai George. And finishing off the squad on the bench is Bruce Somerville, Dan Heritage, Henry Bradford, Timothy Rokosuka, Adam Leach, Matt Burgess, Corey Morris, and Chris Guest at 24.
So it's about 29 degrees here, about lunchtime today here in Lismore. It's just cooled down by about 5 or 6 degrees, so we're playing about 23, 24 degrees with a big southwesterly breeze just blowing right up in here in the commentary box as well. So it's still a bit hazy and smoky from those bushfires out inland. So, and you can see there the pitch there is a real firm surface. Crozier Oval's seen many games of both rugby league, rugby union, and gets well used at this time of year across the codes. Of course, still got a soccer grand final to play here next week, so it's a very dry surface. Haven't had much rain here on the far north coast in the past 2 or 3 weeks. So an area, whoever gets smashed down into this Crozier Oval turf is certainly going to know all about it today.
There'll be a few patches of skin left on the surface today, that's for sure.
So as we still wait for the lineups here, Kevin Toomey will draw the assignment. Wollongbar, they're aiming for their 6th straight title, 7th overall. They've played in the last 8 grand finals. They lost the first 2 back in 2012 against Lennox Head and Lismore, whilst Lennox Head themselves went on a bit of a run, winning 5 straight from seasons 2008 to 2012. But Wollongbar, they'll be looking for an unprecedented 6. And when you look at the tail of the tape between these two teams, as far as head-to-head's concerned, Casuarina are the only team that have actually come close. They've actually been the sole defeat for Wollongbar throughout the season. They almost beat them in the return clash, Wollongbar only getting up by 4 points. It's the closest anyone's come to beating them this year.
Yeah, definitely. It should be a good game today. If Casuarina can stick to their strengths of, obviously with Vittorio Buatava controlling the game, kicking to corners, and securing ball, because Wollongbar's main game is counter-attack. There's no team better in the comp than Wollongbar at counter-attack. But it should be a cracker, definitely.
So the Wollongbar Pioneers, whilst they had those close contests against Casuarina in the regular season, they pretty much done it easily, winning the minor premiership with a 17-1 record. And how's this for a forward against 724 and 87 points? as we await the teams come out onto the field. So by the applause there, we're expecting now the Casuarina Beach Barbarians to come out onto the field, led by Vittori Buatava. How's this noise here? How's the electricity during, not just, well, I covered the NRRL Grand Final last week. You'd have to say the decibels are probably equal, if not better, than what it was at Ballina 7 or 6 days ago.
Definitely, I can hardly hear you up in the box. We've got the windows open, so it's going to be a good one. Very vocal, two very vocal crowds today.
So that's Casuarina Beach take their positions out into the centre of the field. We now await the Wollongbar Austinville Pioneers. What a history have they had in recent years, as I just mentioned. Their last start, of course, they beat Ballina 55 to 14. And whilst Ballina, they also went down to Casuarina last week to 34 to 27. Casuarina, of course, they finished third in this year's competition with a 13-5 record, 67 points with a differential 106. And they came in, they also got the job done against Lennox Head, winning 35 to 30 the first week of the finals.
Yeah, it's good to see Casuarina. They're a new team, 3 years into the comp. As we can see, I think the Pioneers are coming out now, led by
Ben Damon. Of course, Ben Damon, he's a New South Wales country 5'8", played a bit of football for West in the Queensland competition.
And you've also got in the midfield Alex Gibbon, former National Sevens player, and he was in the red system for a couple of years there, so definitely a lot of experience in this Wollongbar backline.
So of course you're seeing this here on Mark Goff Media. Trust you join the coverage. Been a long day rugby across Mark Goff Media as well here at Crozier and Lismore as we get ready for the big dance. Casuarina, they'll be looking for, as an area just mentioned, they're a vastly new team. They would love to pick up their first premiership against a team that's been dominant in the past 6 seasons. So it will be the Pioneers running right to left on your screen. And as you can see there, Kevin Toomey, they're drawing the assignment. He'll blow time on in a matter of seconds. They'll be kicking into a stiff breeze, the Pioneers. So for me, Casuarina, whilst they've been up there with Wollongbar in the 2 games, I think for me, they'll have to start pretty fast in the first 10 minutes here in Erie.
Definitely have to start fast, try and put Wollongbar down early. And like I said before, just secure ball, have to secure ball, and don't let Wollongbar get that turnover and counter-attack, because they're very dangerous even from their own half.
So Kevin Toomey there blows time on. We're away now in the Far North Coast Rugby Grand Final for 2019. And that's just bounced off Chris Dowling, and it's going to be, I think now it's going to be picked up there off their own kick there, the Pioneers. So this will be now Lewis Holman to play it from the ruck. That's gone into the hands there. That's Dan Damon, and he just marches that one up just shy of the 22. So this is going to be played here from Lewis Holman, and I'm just going to have that just shy of side 10, so they get it through their hands. That's going to Ben Damon, the captain. That's Bill Johnson. They're looking for a quick start. Oh, jeez. I think if he had held on to that there in Erin, they would have got the first try in the first minute there.
It was looking good. It was looking good. The young 19-year-old Hamish Mould almost making a break, offloading there to Austin Markworth, and he's just dropped the ball as he was getting tackled. But good start, quick start from Wollongbar, gaining their own kick-off. And now it's Casuarina's turn to return serve.
So they'll pack the scrum down just inside the 22. Only time that Wollongbar failed to score 30 or more at any time this year was against Casuarina. So whilst they're winning the minor premiership quite comfortably, they know that matters for very little at this coming 80 minutes here in Erie.
Definitely, it's a different game for both sides. You know, what's happened in the past is in the past, and it's all down to 80 minutes today to see who's the best in the Far North Coast.
So the scrum go just about to engage here. So this will be played by the Barbarians inside there in 22. They'll have the breeze behind their backs. The Southwesterly, nice long kick. You can probably see here it's gained, but it's just going to go into touch. Line out now coming for the Pioneers, probably about 35 metres away from the Casuarina line.
Yeah, just trying to get it out of their own half, but Victoria Buatava just shanking that one a little bit.
So Johnson throws into line out. They'll get it into the hands. That's Holman. That's Ben Damon. They're looking for a line break early, and probably in the first 2 or 3 phases here. So they're playing the short side. That's gone into Ben. That's Dan Damon. And he's going to be roll that inside the correct Casuarina 22. Oh, nice tackle behind there by Mitch Platten. Oh, there was a hint of a knock on there from Holman, but the referee is going to keep play moving. So this is going to be short side from Holman. That's gone into the hands of Alex Gibbon. And he's going to be brought down to about 10 metres shy of the line. And he's going to, so this will be clear. Once it gets clear of the ruck, it's going to be passed off there by Holman. And they're looking a bit aggressive in defence there, Casuarina. They'll clear that away. That's going in from Holman. That's going into Scott. Matt Scott, he gets brought down there, and and this should, I think this is going to be called a penalty and it's only in the first few minutes, and we have just the afters.
Just a bit of niggle coming into the game early here.
So it's only taken the first 3 minutes there in here, and it's already getting testy onto the field.
Bit of tension. It's what you expect in rugby. It's a very physical game, and I don't know what happened there, but the penalty was for not releasing, Casuarina not releasing after he's lost his feet.
So we'll just see what referee Kev Toomey sees out of all this.
We've got to play it down for Casuarina, and that is the lock, Elisor Tangidrao. Hopefully he can recover and get back onto his feet.
Yeah, he's clutching at a knee there, Iniri. For me, I was looking at the surface there earlier on, about an hour or two ago, and it just looked like a real firm pitch out there. And so for me, it's like even like the slightest tackle, and it's going to cause potential injury to your legs, especially when you're. It's like not far off bitumen surface.
Yeah, definitely. Looks very concrete-like and dry. So,
especially if you're running on it too, it's like just sends the shock absorb up the lower back. I know all that too well as of the past week. That goes right in your lower back, and before you know it, you've got a pinched nerve. So so you can just see there that just goes in just outside 35 metres from the Casuarina line. So this will be a line out. This will be Trent Ryan to So Trent Ryan throws that right into the hands of, I think that was Tagadrow, I think, what's it? So they'll march this one upfield. Good tackle there from Hamish Mould. So they're just outside the 22 here. Casuarina passed off there by Illis. That was into the hands of Buatava. And you can just see already there, Aniri, like Wollongbar's defence is just so on point. It's just all in, not just on point, but in sync as well, that I've noticed. They're not giving an inch. They're not, and for me, not giving away that line break inside the Casuarina half a field.
No, they're a very well-oiled unit in attack and defence. As we see Buatava get the kick away there.
Nice high kick. And
that's going to go back because the ball was taken out of the 22 and returned in.
So this will be on our line out now for the Pioneers, and it'll be just on the Casuarina Beach 22. So the Wollongbar Pioneers, they've scored 40 or more in 9 out of the last 11 games they played. That includes a 92-5 win over Lismore City.
That's just shows how good they are, I guess.
So this is going to be taken up there. That was the offload there from Josh Damon. And could this be the first points coming here in the first 6 minutes for the Pioneers? As I mentioned, Casuarina, they don't want to give an early try in the first 10. And that's going to be offloaded. That's going to be Bill Johnson in the corner. And you probably see that, as you can see there, Kev Toomey has given the try to the Pioneers, and they're meaning business early at 5-0.
Yeah, as we can see, Lewis Holman, quick scamper from the back of the ruck, picks up Bill Johnson, just too big, too powerful for the Casuarina winger to handle. But it just goes, Casuarina haven't left their half since kickoff. So it's just the Wollongbar just building pressure. and slowly chipping away at this Casuarina defence.
They got on with business earlier, the Wollongbar Pioneers, which have done so well in previous seasons. I mean, when I was looking up when I was researching grand final history and just seeing that this will be vying for their sixth straight grand final title. I mean, that's something that is rarely unheard of in any league or any sport.
Yeah, they've been in the past 8-1 or 1-6, so it just goes to show that they're a resilient club. They're good, and I think it goes down to them keeping a core group of players over that period of time and just slowly building into becoming one of the best clubs in the Far North Coast comp. So
this would be Sam Carey to add the extras, and he's been so impressive with the boot this year. So Sam Carey be kicking to a stiff breeze. The kick has got, it's just going to go to the left of the upright. Thus now remain the score. Wollongbar 5 over the Casuarina Barbarians 0 here at Crozier over on Lismore. As you can see there on the Cooper scoreboard, of course, proud sponsor of the Far North Coast Rugby competition.
Yeah, very, never seen that from Sam Carey before. He never seems to miss, so.
But as I made mention, though, he was kicking to that breeze is probably has to be at least 35 to 40 kilometre breeze coming from the southwest. So you'll see a true reflection of his kicking game when he has it on his back in the second half. So as we zoom action here, so they'll play that in just inside their 22. They will send that one. You can just see there that ball's just holding up, just probably will like another 20 metres up there. So Casuarina looking for field position, and that's just second time of asking. They've kicked that one right on the full again, and this will be a Pioneers line out about 5 metres away from halfway.
Yeah, just 2 kicks now have gone out on the full, and it's just the little things that might hurt Casuarina. I mean, it's early on in the game, but if they can get the little things right, they'll definitely be in this.
So that's Bill Johnson throws the line out, and that's going to be passed off there from Holman. That's what I was kind of thinking going into this game too in the area, was that Wollongbar, this is definitely not their first rodeo in grand finals, as we made mention. As we could just see there, that's Buatava there with a charge down, and it could potentially something come out of this. So this is going to be picked up by Takayama. And so the referees there called a penalty against the Pioneers, but I was just iterating before there in area that this is not Wollongbar, obviously not their first rodeo. Casuarina, I'm just thinking grand final nerves on their first go around once that gets ironed out, you'll see a true reflection of their skill and why they were one of the sole team to beat the Pioneers this year.
Yeah, I think it is just grand final nerves. Got to just calm down after the first couple of minutes, as we saw there, Buatava with the charge down, and then the penalty given away by Josh Damon for holding back Takayama as he was going for the ball.
So this will be a line out now 10 metres away from the Pioneers line.
That's fine, Sack's good. Steele's good.
So they're appealing for a penalty, another penalty here, Casuarina. They might march this one. But you can just see the defence there from Wollongbar. They've already pried that one back. And just on the second phase of play, so they'll play this from their own line, the Pioneers. But they trust their own instinct. Oh, jeez. I was just about to say there, as you can see there, Josh Damon throws that away in disgust, that they trust their own. Normally, about 9 times out of 10, you see when players kick off their own line, Pioneers, they trust their own back line that well that they decide to go and run. But not on that case. Did that pay dividends at all, Neary?
No, they always back themselves. Just a little mistake there from the winger, Richard White. He maybe had a bit of white line fever, saw a bit of open space and forgot about catching the ball.
So as the scrum goes down, but 10 metres away from the Pioneers line. They've got some big forwards there as well at Casuarina, so you think they might try their arm at least getting 5 metres off this scrum. Probably not try and push it over, try and go over the line, but they want to make the most of this breeze whilst they've got it for the next 30 minutes of this half. So the Wollongbar Pioneers, the only team that will get within 10 points at any point of the year is in fact Casuarina, as I may mention at the top. As I may mention, 26-22 loss, and of course they won against Wollongbar through the course of the season. They've held teams though. They've held teams throughout the season not to single digits 9 times across the years, and have chalked up 50 or more points 11 times throughout the year. So what an impressive resume. So, but they'll be looking to level this one back here. Casuarina, this nice ruck there from Casuarina. This is going to be offloaded there by Webb Ellis, and He's just going to be held there, still just inside the 10. Wollongbar, they're ready in defence though. This is going to be nice, taken up there by Beecroft.
He's fine.
Nice clean ruck there from Casuarina. This will be Webb Ellis. Gets it into the hands. That's going to be, I think that's Mitch Planton. They'll go the short side here, the Barbarians. That's going to be Buatava. Abraham Buatava marches across just short of the line. This will be Webb Ellis. Clears it. And that Wollongbar defence is just so on point, just holding back Casuarina. They want to get something out there. They won't be gifted too many opportunities, but as quick as you can see, that's handed right back to the Pioneers, and they'll send that one back 45 metres away from their own line. And well read in defence there by Josh Damon, and putting him over the touch. And you just think the first 10 minutes here in Erie, Wollongbar is just getting on with business. And Casuarina, I mean, that was a perfect chance for them to potential level, if not go in front. But Wollongbar just sent them right back down, and then they'll have a line out 45 from their own line.
Yeah, Casuarina, we're sort of building towards something there, but then once again, Wollongbar have turned the ball over, kicked and regained possession. So let's see what the Casuarina defense can do here in Wollongbar's own half.
So that's Lloyd Morgan, the tight end prop, offloads it. That's going to be taken up there. Good tackle there from Webb Ellis. Looking very impressive in defence and as well as attack. So this is going to be played there by, that's going to be Josh Damon. Oh, so that's that penalty. I think that was for offside from the ruck. So that's a quick play there from Josh Damon, brings it centre of field, looking for a potential line break, beats about 4 players, but offloads it probably a little bit too early. So this will be now advantage to Casuarina. So for a knock on, and they'll have now a scrum feed about 40 metres away from their own line.
Yeah, just a penalty there given away by Tongue and Drow coming in from the side of the ruck, and then a quick tap from, I think it was Richard White.
Yeah, so he went, so had the line break, and once he realised it's just sort of closed up, he done well to beat 5 or 6 players, but then just went for the offload and then just a little bit of a knock on.
Yeah, just offloading into traffic, I think. Hamish Moll not able to hold that one, and they'll pack the scrum down on the 10-metre line.
So Casuarina, they've won. They won the first 6 straight before their first loss, which was actually against Lismore. So that's just to show how topsy-turvy this season is. So as I made mention, an area of 92-5 that Wollongbar beat Lismore, but Casuarina, their first loss was against Lismore 30-0. So there you go.
Yeah, it's very, I guess, a testament to rugby. It's a two-team sport, and if you turn up on the day, you win, and if you don't, unfortunately, you lose.
So, as I made mention, that all these impressive stats, I mean, 724 for and against for Wollongbar means very little. And if you need any reminding, anyone that watches the NRRL coverage on Mark Goff Media, you just got to look at the Morris Brothers Ramettes, the ladies tag team. They only had 1 draw throughout the whole year, and then it was an extra time penalty against the Tweed Coast Raiders. So, being Casuarina, there would have been some law supporters from both codes. And it took a penalty in extra time for Morris Brothers to lose their title. So winning a minor premiership means very little, and you could be, Tweed were the only team that came close to them. So sort of a bit of a grudge match, and like Wollongbar sort of plotted Morris, but they're sort of halfway between Ballina and Lismore. So sort of a grudge match in a way in Erie. Yeah,
definitely a grudge match. As we saw 3 minutes in, players were sort of getting stuck into each other, and I guess Wollongbar still aren't forgetting about that loss that they had against Casuarina. But as you said as well, it's a different game. Minor premiership means nothing. It's whoever turns up on the day and can sustain that quality of rugby for 80 minutes.
So that nice offload into the hands. That's Jane Vidler going for a gallop, and he's might just run out of real estate. So Casuarina will have the line outs, and they'll have it about 10 metres away from their own line.
Yeah, as we can see, sort of Wollongbar are sort of just parking themselves down here in the Casuarina half and building that pressure, and it might pay off, but we'll see what the Casuarina defence can do. So Casuarina, 12 of their games have been decided by 8 points or less, and they've won all but 2 of them, so they're winning the close ones. So be interested to see if the Barbarians can keep this within a try or 2 for the major portion of the game. That experience, winning 10 games out of 12, which were decided by 8 points, which is no more than a converted try, not much more.
you'd think that they could still get something in the last 10 minutes and get on with business. They don't want to make this all of the Pioneers' first half though.
Yeah, definitely. Last week, Casuarina beat Ballina on the Hooter. That was a very, they kept themselves in that game. So it goes to show they thrive on the close games, and you can never count them out, even past 80.
So Gibson gets the offload, and that was just spilt there by Dan Damon. But the referee's going to opt to play on. He must have. So this is now going to be a penalty. So there must have been. I think he was being held in the ruck there in Erie.
Tackler not releasing.
Okay, so a penalty to Casuarina, and they'll make the most of this southwesterly breeze to send that one right over, and they'll have a line out about 35 metres away from their own line.
Yeah, that's. I guess now Victoria Buatava has to take control and try and steer his team out of their own half and try and park themselves in the Wollongbar 50.
So Casuarina, they opt for the line outs.
Line out, not straight there.
Okay, so now this is going to be a scrum feed now to the Pioneers. So they've been given so many opportunities to get on with business, Casuarina and Erie early, but then, as I said, those playing in their maiden grand final, I think the nerves in this first 20 minutes is becoming very apparent, because they're just, every time they've been given a gift, they're handing it right back to the Pioneers.
Yeah, definitely. The nerves are still there. They've been given ample opportunity to get out of their own half, and it's just the little things, the 1%ers that are just letting them down.
Of course, Casuarina, they've gone in with a handy 5-game winning streak, including eight of the last 9.
As we see here, a bit of treatment there for Wollongbar prop Matt Wright, or as everyone else knows him, Booyong. He's a life member of Wollongbar, played over 400 senior games for them, so he's a trooper, and I think he's going to almost make 500.
So as he's getting patched up there, so what a turnout today here at Crozier Oval. Both sides, both grandstands are filled to capacity. And of course, a big win there from the Mullumbimby Moonshiners preceding this game. It was just, hadn't heard that much energy at any local sporting event for a matter of years from the area. It was just, you pay credit there, because you can see there even the hills start to fill up. So this is going to be Lewis Holman as the scrum goes down, 35 metres away from the Casuarina line. And so the referee is going to call a penalty again for collapsing in the scrum. So Holman offloads, they're playing this one quickly. That's Josh Damon from centre of field, and they get as many trips as they can. So this is going to be big right side play here for the Pioneers on the second phase. This is going to be Sam Carey, and he's going to be pinned there. I think, no, there was a legs tackle that just gone slipping. And finally it takes about 6 or 7 Casuarina Barbarians to bring him down. So they're just out on the 22 here. They play the short side. That's Holman. Goes himself. He likes to go himself, and you're probably going to say why he likes to go himself, but he's just short of the line. So they're still at 6s and 7s in defence here. They play the short side, work for him earlier. This is going to be Marquardt goes for it, and he's just going to be pinned there just short of the line. And you can see there Matt Scott just trying to barrage him over. Are they going to have enough personnel to get on with it for business? So the referee there, I think he's called a penalty for...
I think it was offside.
So that's probably going to be in favour of Casuarina. Gives them a chance to set their lineup. And so we'll just see where they go with this, the Pioneers. They'll go for the scrum about 5 away from Casuarina's line.
Yeah, great little run there from Lewis Holman, picking it off the back of the ruck. Just caught by the fullback and scramble defence, but it just goes to show they can attack from anywhere. And let's see if Casuarina can defend their own line 5 metres out.
So in area, I just feel if Casuarina, if they just let in that one early after having a couple of chances themselves to get on and potentially level this one back up, I feel if Wollongbar can get something from this, and they have to play with more than 2 tries down on the score sheet, this could potentially even be a long... You were saying to me off air before, you said this could be really tight, or this could be a one-way affair. Let's hope for the sake it's a bit closer. So they play the short side. That's going into Alex Gibbon. And they're liking that short side of the field, the Pioneers, for good reason. This is going to be Holman from the ruck. Oh, yeah, that's Matthew Wright. And he's just going to be held off the mark. Offloads it quickly. And they're still opting for that left side there, even though they've got a big right side contingent. There's numbers on the right there. You probably can't see it on on the screens here, but there's a big. I'd like to see maybe on the 4th or 5th phase if they can get it to that back line, the Pioneers. So that's going to be played from Holman. That's Ben Damon, captain there. He's just going to be held there 5 metres away from the Barbarians line. They're starting to move it to the right side of field now. That's going to be Lloyd Morgan. But he's just handed that one back over, and they just send that one down. So, though the referee there has just called another penalty against.
He's going to the pocket, it looks like, Dwayne.
Yeah, I reckon someone's going to be having an early sit down to think about it.
It's going to the pocket for a shoulder charge against a Casuarina player.
Okay, so we probably didn't see that on the monitors here. I didn't see it there myself. So we'll just see what referee Kev Toomey is going to opt for.
I'm still waiting.
He's got the cards out. It's just going to matter who he's going to dish it out to.
It looks like the fullback, Kai George.
Cynical infringement on the ground, yellow card.
Will be
So there you go. So the slice of cheese comes out for Kai George.
No.
And he's now going to have 10 minutes to think about it. And it'll be now a scrum feed now to the Pioneers. And whilst they've been very brave in defence there at the Casuarina Barbarians, you'd think that it's just going to be a matter of time before the Wollongbar Pioneers are going to bash down that Barbarians defence and double their lead.
Yeah, well, they've been parked down here for 23 minutes now, and Casuarina have been holding them out pretty well with 15, but that pressure might build, and with 14 men, who knows what can happen.
So Casuarina, so that's a scrum just collapses there. This is just going to be valuable seconds for the Barbarians to set their defensive line. It's held well thus far though in the area for me, but question is they can't give Pioneers that many more consecutive chances.
No, they've held very well with 15, as I was saying before, so if the Pioneers can just keep playing their game, I'm pretty sure they could get over at some point.
So as the scrum's just about to hit packed in, that breeze has just picked up just that little bit further. So as Holman plays it 5 metres away, it's a clean scrum from both teams. So Holman goes from behind the scrum, passes into the hands. That's Ben Damon. Damon into the hands of his brother, Damon. And as they opt to go from one left to right, and I was saying that about 5 minutes ago there in Erie, that if they trust their whole back line, it will pay dividends. And that was James Vidler getting on the score sheet, thus now making it 10-0.
Yes, they've got one of the best back lines in the comp, and Casuarina down by 14, losing their fullback, Kai George, for a shoulder charge. All Wollongbar had to do was just spread it. They got the overlap, and James Vidler went into the corner.
So James Vidler, that's his 15th. He scored at least 15 this year, and that's probably one of his sweeter ones. And I just thought it was only a matter of time before the Pioneers realised that once they go from left to right in their back line, that the numbers game was not going to be in Casuarina's favour in defence. He's won many titles over the years for the Pioneers, and he's, I believe, just reading a piece in the Northern States. So he played a bit of club rugby in the English leagues too. James Vidler.
I would have no idea, sorry, Dane. Don't know him very well, but he definitely has a pedigree of a player that can travel overseas with his rugby. Great try scorer, great finisher.
So in Erie, as I made mention at the start, you play your footy for the Bangalow Rebels throughout the course of the season, and you scored, actually, I was doing my research, I noticed you scored a try against Casuarina. So what is it like to play it like with those big bodies out there like Casuarina, and as we can see the kick go over now, making it 12-0. So you've played against both teams over the course of the years, so how do you get a feel for both, like the defence and attack from Wollongbar as well as for Casuarina?
On Wollongbar side, they're a well-rounded team, defence and attack. Their backline is probably one of the best in the northern New South Wales. You got Sam Kerry, Ben Damon, all the Damon brothers, and then Casuarina. I'd say they're very physical up front in the forwards. But as I was saying, they do let little mistakes creep into their game.
And it's certainly, unfortunately for the Barbarians, it's just pre-match nerves that is just raising its head as Wollongbar are getting on with the job. So they kick that one down into the stiff breeze. That's going to be collected there by, I think, the fullback. It's not Kai George, obviously, because he's binned. So that was Richard White. So as he sends that one back over,
That's going back. He's kicked it out on the full outside of the 22.
So that's the third time that's happened in the space of 25 minutes for the Barbarians. It's one thing to kick it into touch, but when you do kick, that's the third time, and they're just gifting Pioneers opportunities when really that's one thing they need to keep a lid on.
Yeah, the third time they kicked it out on the full. And to me, they're not taking advantage of the wind and kicking deep. They're looking to kick to the sideline too much. They should keep the ball in play.
So that's Alex Gibbon. He's brought down there just on the 22. It's going to be Lewis Holman playing it. Sorry, from the ruck. That's going to be good tackle there from Chris Dowling. He just brings him down, keeping Wollongbar on the 22. They're playing the short side play. And that's Webb Ellis being fended off there. So apparently we got some viewers from Japan there in Erie. So as I made mention, when I was covering the NRRL Grand Final, we had about no less than seven countries watching that. So we got some viewers. And of course the Rugby Grand Final started next Friday in Japan as well. So what a prelude to that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think they're fans of Hiroshi Takayama, the outside centre for Casuarina. He's a little fireball, very quick. And as you were saying, rugby is an international game, and we're getting viewers from all over the world and the Rugby World Cup kicks off next Friday, so it should be good.
So that's Japan and Russia, I believe, in the opening too. So that's going to be quite the opening. And so trust you enjoy the coverage wherever you're watching on Mark Off Me, wherever you're watching indeed around the world. So that's the Pioneers. They're playing on the short side.
Great tackle there from Takayama coming in off the wing.
So that's going to be in the hands. That's Josh Damon. He's crunched into that Crozier oval turf, and that's brought into Ben Damon. And just the numbers game wasn't favourable to Wollongbar, and they get some of that Sam Carey. They're really favouring that left side, and there's still big numbers on that right side. So that's going to be played from Holman out of the ruck. And the referee there he's going back for something. He's going to say that's
tackle without the ball again, it looks like.
Okay, so the Barbarians are just a bit of ill discipline creeping into their game. And so there's been another scrum feed coming for the Pioneers just about 15 metres away from the Casuarina line.
Yeah, it looks to me like Wollongbar are trying to suck in the Casuarina defence all the way to the left, and then use their pace to go out wide through their world-class backline.
So we got just having a look at the chat log here. So Anthony Lowe here, it said something about stories in here. Have you got a story to tell, mate?
No, he's a very good mate of mine, Anthony. We played at Ballina together. He's probably just having a go at me.
Yeah. And apparently, though, we're being viewed in the USA as well. So that would be a Friday night coverage, Friday night football over in the US. So hope you're enjoying it wherever you may be watching. So this is going to be Lewis Holman to play it from the ruck. And their ruck work has been on point today as well for the Wollongbar. They've done everything right thus far. As you can see, they nick Panissi. He's just going to be held there 5 metres away from the Casuarina line. This is going to be Lewis Holman, but he's just going to be brought there shy of the line. You can just feel if another try comes to the Pioneers, and this could be, and as you can see, the little hit and spin there that was Lewis Holman, just close to the line. And they're going to march this forward. Now they're going to test their might against the Casuarina defence here, the Wollongbar Pioneers. They're just bringing that forward. They're playing on the left side of the corner, and well-read defence.
Great tackle there.
Matt Scott just brought down into the turf. So this is about the 10th time of asking now for the Pioneers, and they've just an offensive penalty conceded there for the Pioneers. Barbarians off the hook there in Erie.
Great defence there on the left edge, and I think it was Rian Oliver getting over the ball and going for a pilfer and winning that battle. So hopefully now Casuarina can relieve a bit of pressure, get the ball out, and keep Wollongbar in their own half.
Yeah, for me, I just feel that they're just playing too much football on inside their own 22, Casuarina. They really need to try and get something, at least get some field position off the kick, and definitely make the most of it, because for the next 10 minutes they've got this breeze, and then they're going to be running into it. So I feel that whilst they don't really need to peg back the lead, of course, but they need to get something in this first half, and almost as importantly, not allow Pioneers to get another one over. Otherwise, they're going to be playing. It'll be like Mount Everest, Mission Impossible kind of like play when they had playing to a stiff breeze for the next 40.
Yeah, definitely. As long as they can not let Wollongbar score more points and get something on the board going into the half, they can come out firing again. I still think that there's a little bit of nerves within the Casuarina lineup.
And Wollongbar, this, as I said, not their first rodeo. They've played in eight of these straight. And of course, make mention too, they did win in 1996 as well. So, so this is nice rolling maul there, and it's going to be just brought inside the 22 on the second phase of play. This is going to be Holman play, and there's going to be another penalty, so they'll play this one quickly. But I think Lewis Holman there was a little bit too keen to get on it. So they're kicking into a breeze. You reckon they go for the three-pointer here to stretch it past 2-try lead?
I think with 14 men down, I think they'll have a run. Yeah, looks like they're gonna have a run and try and put this away. Sorry, it actually looks like they're going for points.
Yeah, so three-pointer kicking into a southwesterly, and a stretch it past two converted tries, and that might just play on the nerves that little bit further for the Barbarians.
It looks like Kai George is ready to return into the game after his stint in the sin bin. Hopefully he can get the shoulder charge out of his game. And
okay, now Sam Carey, he's been booting them left, right, and centre all season. But with this, I'll give my own little story. A couple of weeks ago, I was covering Gold Coast Rugby League. There was a player from the Tugun Seahawks, Sam Meskel. He's a sharpshooter with a boot. He was in similar position, and he had a southwesterly at 40 degrees, and he missed it. So not as well as good Sam Carey can kick.
Anything can happen, I think, Dwayne.
Let's see how he goes here. Oh, it's got it over, but only just. So, nevertheless, it still equals 3 points for the Pioneers. Thus now making the score 15-0 over the Casuarina Barbarians here at Crozier Oval. You're watching Far North Coast Rugby Union Grand Final Day 2019. And it's proudly sponsored here. You can see on the Cooper scoreboard, 15-0. Courtesy of Mark Goff Media.
Yeah, well, obviously, going into the half, Wollongbar are the dominant.
Now you can just see off that kickoff there in Erie, they've gone for more length as opposed to trying to go it themselves. They want to try and start off field position, but it's gone into the hands there of Josh Damon, and he's going to send that one back inside on the first time of asking in Casuarina Beach's half. So that's gone into the hands. That's Josh Damon sends that one. So that was actually Ben Damon. You got no less than 3 Damons there on the field. So that's going to go into Alex Gibbon. And he marches that one back 45 metres out from the Casuarina line. And they're playing some quick play here. They know that with more than 2 converted tries, and if they send this one into the 20s here and keep Barbarians to a duck egg, and then it's just could almost be, sent them back to the Tweed Coast packing, but that's not going to help their matters here for the Pioneers.
Yeah, great work there from the Pioneers defence, holding up Hamish Mould, forcing them all and then getting the turnover because the maul collapsed and the ball could not come out.
Yeah, so Anthony Coleman's giving you another shout out there, and here he's at.
Cheers, Ants.
Yeah, and we've got a couple of viewers there from the USA. Wonder what time it is over there in the USA. If anyone's there watching and drop something on the YouTube page, let us know, because it must be the wee hours over there.
I think in the US it might be my good friend Hayden Hill from Nebraska, who came and played a season with us in Bangalore. I'm not saying it is him, but I'm very certain that it is him.
Okay, so as the scrum feed goes down, about 35 metres away from their own line, the Barbarians. So that's gone into the hands. That's Oliver. And yeah, you really think now this is going to be... Oh, geez, that was a dangerous tackle there from Dan Damon. And I think the referee will be reaching his pocket. This could... Yes, there he is. So he's going to now see the rest of this half in the first 5 minutes of the second half. So now this will be now a perfect chance for Casuarina to make the most of now the Pioneers down to 14 men.
Yeah, he knew straight away that he was coming off there, Dan Damon. And as you said, this is a great opportunity for Casuarina to put some points on the board.
And just to answer that question, and on the East Coast US, it's just 2:15 in the morning. So on the West Coast, being 3 hours behind. So we've got some loyal viewers in the US watching at an awkward time. So as we can see there, the Barbarians, they'll throw this one in about 30 metres away from the Pioneers line. Well, oh, jeez, they just cannot take a trick today, Casuarina. They're just now handing that one back via the line-outs. And I think they showed their hand a little bit there in the line-out. So that's going to be Sam Carey going down the sideline. And he's so close to beat his opposite number. But as you can see there, on the first time of asking, will be another line.
They go quick, Casuarina.
So they've gone for the quick line-out. And that's going to be tackled. Richard White there, tackled there, just about 35 metres away, just 10 inside field there for Casuarina. And they'll kick this one early. They know they're going to take this from and hope for the best to play from their own half here. So that's going to be Josh Damon. He goes himself, couldn't quite beat the grip there of Kai George. He's already looking for work after having 10 minutes on the sideline. That's gone into the hands. That's kicked there from the captain, Ben Damon. And well read there off the kick there from Graham Dodge.
Graham Dodge takes the mark in his 22. Just settle things down for Casuarina and get out of their own half.
So Casuarina there, they had a perfect chance. And I think they won't get any better chance now than having Josh Damon off the field, having an early spell.
Yeah, this is the perfect opportunity for them. But just as we saw before, it's the little things, just losing that line out, turning over the ball, and back to where they started at kickoff.
Okay, so this will now be a line out now for the Pioneers. Just about 40 metres away. So this well read off the line out there from Hamish Mould, and they'll run this. Oh, well read in defence there, Abraham Buatava. And
looks like line out wasn't straight there from Casuarina.
So this is going to be played by Lloyd Morgan. Belts that one just shy of the 22. And it's just that they're rucking mauls there in the area, just so on point. They just read each other so well and not giving an inch to the Casuarina defence. So this is going to be Ben Damon off to the hands of Lewis Holman.
Lewis Holman's having a great game up the middle there.
So as they reach inside the Casuarina 22, they play that right side. They got points off it about 10 minutes ago. That's gone into Justin Kerr. And this is going to be now advantage played now for Casuarina. So they'll interested to see if they could decide to run it, which they do. They've handed that into, that's Richard White. And I think this has now been their advantage played. Oh, well read in defence there. Quick tackle there off by the Pioneers.
And that's half time there in the first half of this Cooper's Grand Final.
Well, so Casuarina, they did have their chances there in here, and and to have nothing to show for it. They had about no less than 3 kicks go out in the full. They had a line out inside when they were down just shy of the 22 from the Pioneers line. With a player down, it's just going to make you wonder where they're going to get their first points, if at all.
Yeah, it's sort of just letting themselves down with the little things, as you were saying, 3 kicks out in the full. Losing lineouts, a couple of lineouts not straight. Also losing Kai George early on in the half. And Wollongbar just playing to their strengths, just keeping the pressure on the Casuarina line. But in saying that, Casuarina actually have done pretty well to defend their own line. But they just can't seem to get out of their own 22 and own half.
So let's see what the next 40 minutes brings us here. You're watching it at the Far North Coast Rugby Grand Final here for 2019. As you can see there on the Cooper scoreboard, it's the Wollongbar Pioneers 15 to the Casuarina Beach Barbarians 0. We'll be back in the next 10 minutes for the second half of action.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my very sad duty to tell you that the bar is just about closed. Who would have thought? Owing to license constrictions, the bar is about to close. Ladies and gentlemen, I still have a mobile phone that's been handed to me. It's blue in colour. It's very heavy. It's weighing me down. If you own it, a blue mobile phone, then come and get it from me, please. Tickets. Thank you very much for the Wollongbar Rugby Tour to New Zealand next year. And Zone President Joe Allen is going to draw our 3 prizes right now. Going very deep. First prize. The first prize is $5,000 open order from Trividale. And the winner is Tony Martin. Well done, Tony. Second prize is order from Durafast Tanks in Alstonville. That is going to Peg Coppin. Thank you, Peg. And the final prize is a $200 order from the Wollongbar Tavern. Dear, oh dear. The winner of that is Renee Riley. Thank you everyone who bought tickets. You made 30 odd kids very happy as they head to New Zealand next year. Thanks very much, and thanks, Joe. Actually got a message on the front that says, "G'day mate, Les. I don't suppose you have to look at the board for start times on Monday. Did you? I forgot to look and got carried away. Blah blah."
Back by goal.
Dwayne Neville back here with Aneri Huel here at Crozier Oval here. As you can see there on the Ladbroke scoreboard, if you just joined us, this is going to be Ben Damon. Big run. He does about 60 metres on the fly. And that's going to be into the hands of Josh Damon. As I may mention there, 15-0 on the Cooper scoreboard. Pioneers over the Barbarians in what was a pretty, well, Casuarina had their chances, but just not making the most of them. So Aneri, other than now that you can just see that they're now having to kick into a breeze, what do Casuarina have to do back here to have any shot of getting their maiden title?
Just getting the little things right, like securing ball, not kicking out in the full. As we can see, Turundrangi there with a great steal on halfway.
Does well to get the turnover. That was passed off there by Webb Illis. Oh, you could just see that defence. They're not getting an inch out of this, the Barbarians. The Pioneers are just there, figured 3 or 4 steps in defence. But they look for the big offload. But now this is going to be advantage play for the Pioneers.
Yeah, unlucky there. Takayama just knocking it on. They were going into some open space. But just as I was saying before, Casuarina just have to work on their little things, just getting everything right, and now contending with the win, but also trying to keep Wollongbar out of their half.
And I just want to send a quick shout out to the boys that are out at Coral Court in Byron Bay. There's a big viewing party today, including my offsider during the NRRL coverage, Michael Shaw. So shout out to those boys. He'll be now unofficially in his off season, so they'll be enjoying this coverage, and trust you're enjoying it wherever you're watching, courtesy of Mark Goff Media.
Yeah, shout out to everyone around the world that's tuning in. Hope you guys are enjoying the rugby as much as we are.
So as the scrum goes down, nice clean scrum there from both teams. It's going to be Holman plays on the short side. He's going to be just brought there, just shy of 40 metres there, just about 5 inside field. Casuarina really making the Pioneers play, just not playing with much real estate along that sideline. They want to try and get that over the touchline, but this will be Holman now to bring that more in centre of field, or will it? That's gone in the hands of Matthew Wright. He's brought down there by Robert Beecroft. So this will be Holman to play from the ruck, gets it into the hands of, that's Lloyd Morgan, the tight head prop. He just marches that one down 10 metres, and they just right smack bang on the Casuarina 22. And so an offensive penalty given there from the Pioneers, and that was a perfect chance to really get on with business.
As Casuarina looks to go quick through Buatava, Oliver's got the ball.
Nice, that's going to get through the hands. This should see deep inside now. The Pioneers half just out of nothing, so they're starting a bit more perked up now. The Casuarina beat Barbarians, but they need to get some points off it, as it matters for little if they can't make the most of it. That Pioneers defence, they're about 3 or 4 steps ahead of Casuarina when it comes to the defence. They're just ready there to greet them even before they even have a chance to even know that they've got the ball in Erie.
Yeah, Wollongbar have just turned the ball over again. Chris Dowling, the lock for Casuarina, was caught a bit flat-footed in that rushing defence, and looks like Bill Johnson has managed to hold him up, forcing the maul and then forcing a turnover.
So the scrum will go down just shy of halfway. Pioneers here, they've now got the bruise on the back, so we'll be keen to see here when they get it into the hands of the likes of Sam Carey, James Vidler and the Damon brothers. It's going to be more or less.
And it looks like a substitution here for Casuarina, with Abraham Buatava coming off for Chris Guest, who will pack down in the front row at loose head prop, I'm pretty sure.
And there's another shout out here. Shout out to Scotty losing the Division 5 Grand Final Oaks Oval just behind us. So yeah, it's that time of year in Lismore where we see many codes, and of course we've got the Aboriginal Rugby League knockout competition there next over the Oaks Oval next week, and we got the soccer grand final in the Premier Division at this ground next week, and it's like a mini Olympics in Lismore in the month of September.
Yeah, it's all happening here in Lismore. Definitely looking forward to the knockout next week. That's always a great thing to watch. As we can see here, I think it's Justin Kerr for Wollongbar has just gone down with looks like a shoulder injury. Let's hope that he's getting back to his feet. He looks to be fine.
So he'll take a swig of water, and we'll wait for the scrum feed. As I mentioned, just short of halfway. The scrums have been pretty good for me too in Erie from both teams. There hasn't really been too much error from either part.
Yeah, it's a very even scrum. There's no sort of one dominant side. But towards the end of the game, with those fresh rolling subs in the front row, we'll see who can get the upper hand.
So this will be Lewis Holman here to feed the scrum, 45 metres away from the Pioneers line. And you can just see the big boppers there from Casuarina just mowing down that scrum. But it matters for little, as you can see there. That's going to be Hamish Mould goes for a big line break. And he brings that off that first phase there to get inside the 22 of Casuarina. This will be Bill Johnson, the player from the ruck. Gets it in. That's gone into the hands of, Ben Damon. And that's Josh Damon. And he opts to go right to bring it back in centre field. And he's just going to be brought down there just about 10 metres away from the Barbarians line. Nice clean ruck there from the Pioneers, as they've been doing so well all season. And they're playing on that short side. That good tackle there from Mitch Planton. And, so that was just gone out of the grip there of Lewis Holman. And that's going to be there, Alex Gibson. So Casuarina can ill afford to concede points off this play. This is going to be Ben Damon. He's going to be brought down there by, that's Rian Oliver. So you're looking at about 7 phases of play here now. This is Holman for the back of the ruck. Goes the short side. That nice full flick pass into Sam Carey. That's going to be Nick Penisi. And he goes in the corner. They've been favouring that corner all game. And it's once again paid dividends. And now the Barbarians here, I think it's starting to get out of their grip a bit now at 20-0.
Yeah, Casuarina had a great scrum here on the half. Very dominating scrum, but the pick up off the back by young Hamish Mould made a break over the 22 in Casuarina's half, and then Wollongbar, just being Wollongbar, just got a roll on. Little nice move down the short side with a flick around from Matt Scott to Sam Carey, and then Nick Penisi going in.
So the Wollongbar Austinville Pioneers are looking the greats to get 6 straight titles out of 8 times straight. So we thought there was every chance that this could be quite the contest, like going into previous history, but it's all come down to the fact that Wollongbar they know this dance too well. They've been doing it for 8 years straight. Whilst Casuarina, their first time of asking, I think it's just now going to elude them now in Erie.
Yeah, it's just slipping away. I think if they can get a try or two, they could maybe get themselves back into the game. But at the moment, Wollongbar are just too strong. As you said, very experienced team in this situation, and Casuarina's first time. So hopefully Casuarina can claw some points back and make it an interesting contest.
So now this will be Sam Carey from the sidelines here, with that southwesterly breeze just behind him. And it's got the length. Has it got the accuracy? Not quite, so they're still making the score. Wollongbar Pioneers 20 to the Casuarina Beach Barbarians 0.
Be interesting to see how Casuarina kicked this one off. They've been going short and they went long, and it just seems to not be paying off for them. See if we can if Buatava can get a bit higher to give his forwards a chance.
So Casuarina gets us restarted here, so should be collected there by the Pioneers, and he's going to be met there in defence by Kai George, and they're just outside their 22 there, the Casuarina Beach. Look, Holman, he's brought down there, that's Robert Beecroft. They can ill afford. It's just these line breaks that they've done plenty of. And then here comes another one here. That's James Vidler. He beats one. He's only got the fullback to beat. He's got numbers on his left. And I thought he might have just run away from the grip of Vittori Buatava, but
they've got numbers out here.
Yeah, so this is going to be Ben Damon. And there is the captain's effort. And that should give the Wollongbar Pioneers the title for 2019. And there's still another 30 minutes to play in this one. 25-20. Sorry, 25.
Yeah, Hamish Mould again. He's having an outstanding game. Just to break down the short side here, giving it away to James Vidler. Great tackle by Buatava, but just Wollongbar had the numbers. Casuarina defense wasn't ready, and Ben Damon going over.
Yeah, so in this kick being a much easier task now for Sam Carey, you shouldn't have any troubles getting this one over. And as I made mention there, we've still got another 30 minutes to play.
Yeah, it's just before, after Sam Carey scored the last try, we were saying that Casuarina should try and get themselves back into the game, but Wollongbar just a quick fire, quick turnaround, and it looks like it's out of Casuarina's hands if they can't get points quickly on the board.
And I suspected it, as we can see the kick go over, and it adds the extras, thus now making the score 27-0. I was just making mention, I think it's that westerly breeze, that southwesterly. I think Casuarina failed to make the most of it. If anything, it went against them when they kicked about no less than 3 kicks on the full. So it was their worst enemy, if anything. And Wollongbar, as I made mention, with their back line, and you saw it there with the captain Ben Damon, they're just making the most of it, and that's pretty much been the difference.
Yeah, as Wollongbar look to spread it again. Knock on there from Dan Damon.
Okay, so let's see if Casuarina can make the most of this. Smack bang a scrum feed, 22 out from the Pioneers line. So, 27 points with 30 to go. We're nearly getting point-a-minute territory. Barbarians, they've got to get something off this blade, if they're going to have even a slight hope.
Yeah, hopefully they can get a strong scrum like they had in their previous scrum, and just get something on the board. As you said, it's becoming dangerous territory for them if they can't convert, and they've made it harder for themselves now. They weren't taking advantage of the wind in the first half, and now they've got to face it. It's an uphill battle.
So this is where Willis to play in the scrumming. Oh, the scrum's looking a bit awkward. That's gone in their hands at Takayama. He goes for a run. Is he going to get out of the grip of... Oh, that was the opposite number that Alex Gibbon. They're playing the short side. Nice quick play there by Casuarina. But as I made mention that, so the linesman there has put the flag up, and now it's going to be a line out to Wollongbar, about 10 away from their own line.
Yeah, great run there from Takayama, getting it away, but just Oliver ran out of real estate, and Wollongbar's cover defence once again just come to rescue the day.
Yeah, so they opted for the quick play, but as I made mention about 5-10 minutes ago in the area, their defence is just they've already got a blueprint about 3 or 4 moves. It's like being on the chessboard, you just have 3 or 4 moves, and before Casuarina even realise they've even got the ball. A nice clearing kick there for the Pioneers, and just bounced around like a bouncy ball into the Wollongbar supporters there in the grandstand.
Yeah, it's Wollongbar's game to win now. Casuarina have got a throw in here on the 22.
So Ryan goes for the little short throw and the line out. And it's well cleared there. That's going to be played there by Illis. And nice, that's Mitch Platt in there. Nice legs tackle around his left hip. And they'll go through as many hands as possible. Oh, you can just see that their tackles are just like textbook tackles to an area. It's just everything. You've seen here why they're responsible for winning 6 titles straight. Going to win 6 titles straight, I should say. So that's gone into the hands of Chris Dowling. He's going to be met there by, that's Hamish Mould in defence. A good tackle there by Dan Damon.
They've turned the ball over again, Dwayne.
So once again, perfect opportunity for Casuarina. They just don't want it. And so the Pioneers now, they'll have it just inside their 22. They play the short side there. The thing that's also eluded them is, I don't think Casuarina's made, I'm struggling to think if they made a line break all game, whilst Wollongbar have made probably somewhere in the double figures.
Yeah, Casuarina, they're finding it hard to crack this brick wall that Wollongbar are putting up. But Wollongbar also, they're very quick over the ball in the ruck, in defence and attack.
Do you think they're just probably relying on their forwards probably a little bit too much?
I think they are. I think their forwards are looking like they're starting to get gassed. And they need to start using their backs a bit more, use their speed out wide.
And just kind of judging the look on both teams there in the area, I don't think even the scary thing is at 27-0 and we're about 25 minutes left, I don't think Wollongbar has even clicked into 4th or 5th gear yet. I think they're playing in 3rd gear.
I probably even think they're in 2nd gear. Still haven't clicked in. As we see some changes there, Corey Morris comes on for Takayama in the midfield.
So they play on this long side. That's gone to Holman. And this has worked well for James Vidler. Oh, good blindside tackle there from the Barbarians. But it's Pioneers still with possession. Big long pass. That's gone into Matthew Wright. And he's going to go for do a 360 there in the maul. And he's going to be cleared off there from Holman. Opts to go left side. And that's gone into Ben Damon. And it wouldn't be a Wollongbar's Pioneers grand final if Ben Damon didn't get on the score sheet there in Erie.
No, definitely not. As we see that one going out on the full, this is a great opportunity for Casuarina to put some points on the board.
So that was the first kick on the full for the Pioneers. So this is going to be Trent Ryan to play it. Sorry.
The ref's just asking for both teams to give a bit of a gap in the line out there.
So Trent Ryan will play this one from the line out. Wollongbar know how to read defensive line outs vastly well, as you could probably remember in the dying minutes of the first half. Nicely read there from Casuarina, and I think that's Wallen there brought down. It's going to now be played by Burgess. That's Matthew Wallen there taking on the second phase. So this is Burgess from the back of the ruck. Brings it into the hands of, that's Vittorio Buatava. And they're about 30 metres away from the Pioneers line. This is the 4th phase of play. And nicely read in defence there by Matt Scott. So I think this is now going to be an advantage play here for Casuarina. Big overlap pass into the hands of, I think that beat about 3 or 4 players. Good run there from Graham Dodge. And then bringing inside the 22 of the Pioneers. So they really need to get something here to get the ball rolling. Casuarina, that's gone into Trent Ryan. They play on this right side, so that left side. And, but it's just been that Wollongbar Pioneers defence brings him down just about 5 short of their own line, and this will be a line out now for the Pioneers.
Yeah, once again, defense from the Pioneers, but the Casuarina are starting to look a bit good as they go for a quick tap.
So they're going to be brought short there, the Pioneers. Sorry, that's Casuarina have got this one back. So this is going to be Trent Ryan. He just lost that, but it's going to. The referee there has seen a penalty.
Looks like a penalty for offside from that quick tap. He was playing advantage.
So Vittorio Buatava gets it restarted. They're ever so close. This is probably their best chance of the game. Casuarina, can they get something from the forwards? And they're really playing this one up the middle. The Barbarians, they're claiming try. They're going to get it.
I think that was the number 10 there, Vittorio Buatava, crashing over under the post.
So Vittorio Buatava gets that one just shy of the left upright, thus now making the score 27-5.
Great work there from Casuarina. They're finally starting to look like they're here to play. Getting two penalties and then going for the quick tap and just busting through the middle, Vittorio Buatava.
Yeah, they haven't had much to cheer about Casuarina today, but you could just hear there to our right. You could see that a very quick conversion there from Vittorio Buatava to add his own extras, thus now making the score. Wollongbar 27, Casuarina 7 here at Crozier Oval in Lismore.
Hopefully Casuarina they now have a bit of wind in their sails and they can play the game down in Wollongbar's half.
And you can just hear that's just add a bit of life here in the right-hand grandstand. So this will be Sam Carey to restart. And that's just going to find 10. Only just though.
Sam Carey shanking that kickoff. And it looks like they've got a rolling maul going on here.
So this is going to be played just shy of halfway. Now we'll get through as many hands. That's just put a little bit more pep in the step for Casuarina, but they still have a mountain to climb. They need 3 converted tries. Can be done, but as we approach, and that's certainly not going to help their cause.
Kai George just putting that one down. They're the little things that are just stopping them from getting over the advantage line.
So this will be a line out now for Bill Johnson. We'll throw this one down the centre. Just shy of halfway. So 3 converted tries is what's asking now for Casuarina if they're going to steal this one, but he certainly, as you said, they're done.
Looks like we've got a bit of a blood bin here for, I'm not sure who that is. Just getting a quick patch up on the sideline. As it's a good break for both teams playing in these hazy conditions.
So as we can see there, you'll just get a bit of the old Vaseline over the brow. So as you can see there, Lloyd Morgan getting a bit of the old osteoplast around his eyebrows. So apparently, so we've been told here he's actually an Englishman. I wonder if his parents are watching the live stream here in the wee hours of the morning. As I mentioned, it's 2 a.m. over in the US, in the States. So they're probably just waking up at this point of the hour in the UK.
Yeah, just to let you know, your boy's all good. Just a bit of
Vaseline.
Yeah, Vaseline's all right.
So this is Bill Johnson, throw this one down centre, straight on halfway. This is gone into the hands. That's Damon. And that's going to be brought down there by Damon, the inside centre. So play from the back of the ruck there from Lewis Holman. And then just marching this one up the centre. That's Nick Panisi. 45 metres out from the Casuarina line, the third phase. They're playing the short side. That's gone into Sam Carey. and he's met there by his opposite number there, Kai George. Rolls in back there. Rihanna Oliver always looking for work in defence and managed to clear this one off the Pioneers. But they're just forcing the Pioneers back a bit, and so is there a hint of a knock on? Referee there, Kev Toomey, and he's actually going to give a penalty here for the Pioneers. And I'll play this
Hamish
one.
Mould off again.
So big line break. That's a shame there for the Barbarians there, Neary. He was basically, they've done well to just pin back the Pioneers as they play the short side. That's gone into, that's Josh Damon. And he's held there just on the 22 of the Casuarina Barbarians. They get it through their hands. That's Matt Scott. And they're just bringing inside the 22 now. So Holman will play this one from the back of the ruck. Good clean out there from the Pioneers. That's gone into Ben Damon.
Yeah.
So they've only just managed to offload, put that one on the ground there, the Pioneers. So they're galloping up this one in the centre.
And he's in again.
Well played there by Josh Damon. Reads the line break. And now that should be thank you, good night for the Barbarians. And now the score is going to be now 32-7.
Lewis Holman again off the back of the ruck. He picks it up and he catches defenders napping around the ruck. You know, if Casuarina they've got to start tightening it up around the ruck with their posts and pillars. They're just they're letting Lewis Holman have a look, and if you give him an inch, you know, as we just seen there, Wollongbar go over.
Casuarina, they've been very brave for the last 5-10 minutes and showing a try for it. But as you can see there, Josh Damon showing an absolute cameo from the left wing. It's breaking the line break out of nothing, and then this should be now Wollongbar will take home their 6th straight title.
I think it is, Dwayne, game over. Anything Casuarina score from now on will just be a consolation. Fun fact about Lewis Holman, me and Lewis grew up together. We went to school together in Burke, Western New South Wales. So,
well, there you go.
Been cheering him on. Very good friend of mine and my family's. Yeah, he's been having a perler. You know, he's got very bad asthma, so they didn't know if he was going to play today with all this smoke around. But he's strapped on and he's ready to win his. I think this will be his 4th in a row.
So that's yeah. So the extras have been added there. Dustin Mount making the Wollongbar Pioneers. You can see there on the Cooper's scoreboard, 34-7 over the Barbarians. Here at the Crozier over in Lismore. So as we can see there,
Knock on there from Wollongbar as Casuarina play the advantage.
Casuarina, oh, well read off there. So
he's pulled it back for the earlier knock on.
And the conversion was successfully kicked by FNCRU. Score is now 34 points to 7 in favour of Wollongbar.
So as the scrum goes down here for the Casuarina Barbarians, just 30 metres away from the Pioneers line as the sun goes down here at Crozier Oval in Lismore. We've got about 15 minutes and change. And it's all going to be now consolation now for the Barbarians. Though it was certainly not a downer of a season for them. They were the only team to actually get the job done against the Pioneers.
Yeah, it's been a great season for them. This is only their 3rd year in the comp, and this is the first time they've made it to the finals, and now first time in a grand final. So, you know, it's first time, and I'm pretty sure that for the next couple of seasons to come, they'll be serious contenders for this.
And yeah, it was no short feat either. They're taking on a dynasty of Wollongbar who have won 5 straight and participated in the last. This is their 8th straight grand final. So, and that's longer than that. Like normally twice as long as Casuarina been a club. So there's been definitely a brave effort from the Barbarians as that's Kai George there getting brought into touch.
Yeah, very brave effort, as you were saying. The dynasty of Wollongbar, Alstonville Rugby Club is just something that you can't beat if you don't turn up on the day. They're a very well-oiled team in attack and defence. As we can see, a change coming up here for Wollongbar. It's number 7, Justin Keir, coming off.
So this is going to be played inside the 22 for the Pioneers. That's brought down there. That's Marquardt. So this will be Holman to play from the back of the ruck. And then you could just see the Pioneers, like normally 9.5 times out of 10, they'd be kicking And you can see there a bit of a high tackle on Ben Damon. But some of the games of rugby I tend to watch in the area, it's like you think 9 times out of 10, I never see anything like it. Like when you're on your own line, especially when like the Wollongbar Pioneers just trust their back line enough to decide to run it inside their own 10.
Yeah, they trust themselves 100%. They back themselves, and I think that they have no fear because I think they know that they've got quality players in their back line that could sort of make something out of nothing.
Even the world-renowned All Blacks, I do not ever see them like kick off on their own try line.
Yeah, usually you just kick, get some space, and then build from there. But these guys, just as I was saying, no fear. They just back themselves 100%.
So this is Lloyd Morgan. He's taken here on the third phase. This will be Lewis Holman to play it from the back of the ruck. And just as quick as they've got one, they're going to hand one right back to Casuarina. So this will be played there by Bradford. That's gone into Rian Oliver. He makes the line break. Could he get something out of this, Rian Oliver? Just short, but they've had, it's just been the story of their game, the Barbarians. It's perfect chance. If they had got a quick play, and to add injury to the insult, it's now been called a knock on. So just to add injury to the insult there for the Barbarians, they've had the chance. If they made the most of them, this would be a much closer contest.
Yeah, it's just those little things, the final pass, the final kick, it's not helping them. They're starting to sort of string a few things together, but as you were saying, it's just those little things that aren't creeping into their game, the little things that are creeping into their game, it's just not helping them out.
So as we approach the final minutes here at Crozier Oval in Lismore, trust you enjoy the coverage here on Mark Goff Media. Of course, proud sponsors of Far North Coast Rugby, Coopers. So that I think their Wollongbar are just chewing up a bit of clock. They want to get back to the clubhouse and celebrate another premiership. And as we can hear the loyal Casuarina supporters to our right getting very, very vocal. Wonder why that is, Maniri. I think someone's about down the sideline.
Yeah, we've got the great Adam Leach, number 21, will be coming on. Everyone thought that he would be hanging up.
Leachy, is that right corrected?
Yeah, Leachy.
Pronouncing it?
I think he's had a couple of stints playing for the Harlequins in England, and he's just not giving up the game. I don't know how old he is. He looks like he's about 30, but.
And you can hear the way they're singing that. You'd think we're at a soccer stadium in the UK, the way they're rattling off. So you normally back Lewis Holman every day of the week, but he's just dropped that one forward. So he's going to give Casuarina a scrum feed about 5 out from their own line.
Looks like it's getting a bit testy out there.
There's a bit of push and shove there.
Push and shove.
Starting to kick off a bit between the both teams. It was kicking off early in the first 5 minutes, and they're just picking up where they left off, more or less.
Yeah, no love lost, I guess, between them. That's a very rare error there from Lewis Holman off the back of the scrum with a little knock on.
You can just see there Hamish Moll playing peacemaker between two of the players there.
Yeah. It looks like Casuarina will be making a change. We've got Timothy Rokasuka and Adam Leach coming on for Chris Dowling and Mitch Planton.
So you can see there on screen, Adam Leach will take his position onto the field, and wouldn't he like to have a grand final try on his resume there in Erie? And he's got, obviously, as we mentioned a couple of minutes ago, he's got a big contingent of fans there in the crowd. They're not going to get the job done today as we enter in the final 10 minutes.
No, they're not going to get the job done, but I'm pretty sure if Leachy goes over, the stadium will erupt.
What a day of rugby this has been out here. It's big win, as May mentioned, by the Mullumbimby Moonshiners.
Very big win for, as you were saying before, for late Timothy Watkins.
I'll never forget that in the area. Like, I was covering NRRL in this very seat where we are today. I think it was Tweed Coast versus Northern United, and I got the news literally, and about 30 seconds before we went on the air, and I'll never forget that. It was, I'm just so proud for Mullumbimby that I could have some of them remember his honour, and as we can say that's going to be
have gone in through.
Richard White gets over in the left-hand corner, and now they're at least now get into double figures now, making the score 34-12.
Yeah, just playing simple rugby again, just through the hands, draw and pass. And Richard White's just gone over in the corner to make the scoreboard look a bit more respectable.
So Richard White, nice try in the corner. They're kicking that one as quick as he scored it. Just going to go over the face of goal. Oh no, he's got that right.
What a kick from Victoria Buatava.
Inside the right upright. And now they're making the score 34-14. Pioneers still in front.
Great kick from Victoria. I thought that was out for all money. He just curved it back in.
It was going over the face of goal, and then it just found and Solace just inside the right upright.
I think that's why he was selected to play in the 2011 Rugby World Cup for Fiji. Just those little skills that he has.
And whilst, I mean, we know they had the skill to feature on Grand Final Day in Erie for the Barbarians I refer to. I just think if they had they're starting to play, if they played like this a bit more in the first, say, they didn't have the nerves, and I mean, nerves come, naturally, but if they played a bit more football like this in the first 20 minutes, we'd be definitely seeing a different scoreline, surely.
Definitely a different scoreline. They look like they've got a bit of wind behind their sails, and they're amped up. The crowd's helping them out.
And I'd be thinking, well, they'd be better for the experiences for this year going into next year. And I can assure you that if we see them on Grand Final Day in 2020 next year, that we're going to definitely see a different Casuarina Barbarians, and it will be a much more even contest next time around. I just think it's just the nerves in the first 20 minutes, and just as we can see there, the Pioneers are there now. They're starting to look like the ones that are just letting some ill discipline get into their game. As you can see, a big run there, just
big run from Rokosuka.
So they're just getting the quicker offloads down, and this is what I mean, is like they had to just make this into a bit more, closer contest, and we might have been seeing a bit more of a grandstand finish, and we still sort of are. This is going to be
pull back for a forward pass there from Buatava.
Okay, so
slowed them down a bit.
So as we're entering now, 7 minutes and change left here in Lismore. And we'll have a scrum feed about 5 metres away from halfway.
Let's see if Casuarina can get a big push like a couple of their previous scrums and win the ball back.
So the scrums, as I might mention, they've just been very clinical for both teams. So this, as you can engage here, this is going to be Holman to feed it. And you can just see there, Casuarina just turning it about 45 degrees. That's going to be played into Ben Damon. That's nice run there by Sam Carey. Does well to get 45 metres away from the Casuarina line. They play short side. That's gone into Josh Damon. Beats about 3 players. Does well to get about 30 metres off the second phase. That's going to be collected from Hamish Mould. They play the short side. That's going to be Josh Damon. There's an advantage, should be played, and there will be the penalty for...
The penalty for offside there. I think Rian Oliver tracking back was caught offside.
Now, if you're Sam Carey, you just take the 3 points.
Looks like they're pointing towards the sideline, Dwayne.
So they more or less want to go for broke and really put the exclamation mark on getting a 6th straight title out of 8 times of asking.
Yeah, looks like they're not finished scoring yet, so.
And I just wonder how many of these lads out here for the Pioneers in area that were involved in those first 2 that they didn't pick up.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. But as I was saying before, they've got a really strong core group that's taken them to those previous 5 and now possibly six titles in a row. And it looks like if they keep that same core group, and they've also got a lot of good juniors coming through, that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in this comp for a long, long time.
So the referee there is... So...
Yeah, it looks like they're taking the 3, Dwayne.
Yeah, so they just chalk a bit of clock, add some potential extras, and as you can see there, you actually probably can't see on the screen there, but Casuarina, they're looking vastly gassed. They've thrown everything that they could today. They were basically, they weren't just up against the Wollongbar Pioneers, they were against the Wollongbar Pioneers plus a whole dynasty.
Yeah, and if when you've got players like Ben Damon, who's a walk-in for New South Wales country, and Alex Gibbons, a former Sevens player, all that experience, and then the experience of playing the last 8 straight, it's a very, very strong side and a big task to beat.
So Sam Carey will have this one just inside the 22 of the Casuarina line. It's got some nice length and just going to fall short. So thus, still remaining 34-14.
As we can see, Vittorio Bultava here was looking to take he's taken the 22 dropout.
So there's chases for both teams, but well read there, passed into the hands of Matt Scott. And this is going to be Holman, and playing short side. That's gone in the hands of Josh Damon. He goes around the sideline, brings it in. And there you go, clinical effort there from Josh Damon. Will make this now 35-14, 39-14, I must say. And there can't be much more time left. They know that this is going to be probably one of the sweeter of the 6 straight for the Pioneers, and they will celebrate this one long and hard.
Yeah, the 22 was taken, but there were no chasers. Very easy grab there for Scott, who's just gone on to Lewis, and the rest is history with Damon going over in the corner.
So as I made mention, it was a bit of a family in the fair in the back line with the Damon brothers, Ben, Josh, and Dan. So they're playing in the honour for their grandfather, as I've been learning here.
Their grandfather's not very well, so if the family's watching, we pass on our best wishes towards the Damon family and their grandfather in this tough time.
No doubt the grandsons out there are doing them proud. A big effort. Both all the boys there getting involved in attack and defence.
As we can see, the Pioneers have made a substitution with Benji Tia coming on.
So
Jaden Reggiano.
So this time he has added the extras. Nice kick there from Sam Carey to add it, and there you can see there 41-14. The Wollongbar Pioneers getting on with business, and will claim their 6th title in a row.
Yeah, tough one to take here for Casuarina, but they haven't given up. Very valiant effort, and they're still going hard until the last whistle.
So they get their own kick there. So that's Corey Morris, but he's going to hand that one just as quickly back over into Hamish Mould
again. He's been everywhere today.
So that's playing on the short side. Well read in defence there from Adam Leach. 40 metres away from the Pioneers line. They should be the last ones to see this one out, as we're about a minute and change left from the end of this one here. Could they well blindsided in the tackle there.
I think that's a shoulder charge coming in there from
absolutely blindsided
Corey Morris on the wing.
And so the Casuarina Barbarians are going to finish this one with 14 men. He just got absolutely smashed off that blind side there. And here
he's still down as well. That's young.
So that's going to be Corey Morris. He's going to now have an early shower. He'll make the most of he'll have first use of the hot water in the dressing sheds.
Yeah, as we can see, with not long to go, the Pioneers just want to wind this one down from what's been a very strong effort. As we can see, 2 substitutions coming on for the Pioneers. Ian McRae and Matt Neen. As we can see, Alex Gibbon coming off, a true warrior for this Wollongbar club today.
So they're opting to go for the kick. It's about no more than 5 metres inside field. It's going to be about 40 metres out. And we'll see Sam Carey to really put the cherry on top.
Do you think he'll get this one, Dwayne?
Oh, well, the breeze has actually died down a bit too, so you won't have much of a breeze. That's just gone down. But what a way to finish the game for the Pioneers if he does get an earring.
It will be a great way to finish the game if he does slot this one for 40 out. I think you're saying 5 in from the touch.
He's kicking from the right, if you look at it from both sides of it, he's kicking on the right side there. You can see that in the background. He's got his loyal Pioneer supporters there to egg him on. So we'll ride this one with Sam Carey. And this should be the last play of the game.
As he steps up.
No,
Good
it's going to
strike.
fall
Too
just short.
Too short.
Did have the accuracy. If it had been another 5 metres, he probably might have got it. So this is going to be Casuarina. They'll be the ones now to see this one out. Do they opt to go for broke or just boot it out in the touch? So that's going to be a nice long kick.
Knock on there from Casuarina.
So as we still play on here, Wollongbar, they'll just get that. They'll be looking for the likes of perhaps Ben Damon and just boot that.
Lewis Holman coming off there for Jaden McDonald. Lewis Holman's had a great game today.
So he'll go into the dressing sheds now, and he'll be on the Wollongbar change rooms to get the first use of the showers. So this is going to be played from McDonald from the back of the scrum. This is going to be Ben Damon. Nice splitting run. That's gone into the hands of, that is Sam Carey. Now he'll get himself in the try scoring class for 2019. The Pioneers now, he didn't get the kick, but that's probably a better way to get the cherry on top for the Pioneers. 46-14.
Yeah, definitely a better way for Sam Carey to finish off the game from missing that kick. Just once again, Ben Damon giving the ball off to Reguera, then Reguera offloading to Carey, coming up through the middle.
So Sam Carey will line up. He won't have an easier kick to add the extras.
Do you think he'll get it?
Oh, I'm pretty more certain about this one. And he got an absolute peach on the last try they scored
he did
too.
get as he steps up.
There you
little
go.
chip.
So if that was a cherry, that was I suppose, the Pavlo, the whipped cream on top, converting his own kick. And what a win there for the Wollongbar Pioneers. That's 6 straight for them. They're the champions for the Far North Coast Rugby competition for 2019.
Yeah, well done to Wollongbar. They were from the get-go. They meant business. Casuarina took a while to get a roll on, and it's just taken too long for them. But hats off to Casuarina, first final.
What a brave effort though from Casuarina. I think like their first time of asking. They've only been a club for 3 years, and more or less, they've been playing a club that's won more double their years in titles.
Yeah, definitely. This will be the Wollongbar's 6th title.
6 out of 8.
For Casuarina, look, yeah, next year's another year, and they definitely look like they're going to be a finals contender again.
Absolutely.
And yeah, Wollongbar again, hats off. Just no one can beat them.
Neary man of the match, your choice.
I'm going for the young 19-year-old from Wollongbar, Hamish McDonald. Hamish Mole, sorry, not Hamish McDonald. Just had a perler of a game. He's been everywhere as your typical number 8's meant to be, and I think he's had about 4 line breaks and set up a couple tries. Who was your man of the match, Dwayne?
Oh, mate, I'd have to say, well, Sam Carey. I think Sam Carey's just showed why he's so big in attack. Just those line breaks. I mean, you could pretty much give it to anyone in the back line from Wollongbar playing from deep inside their own 22 and just they went right from the word go. Like they just basically were on the front foot. Casuarina, I thought their only chance was they had to do something the first 10 minutes, and I just think the grand final nerves and being on the biggest stage against the biggest team like in Wollongbar in the first 10 minutes, I think they just stage fright at the end, got them at the end of the day.
Yeah, just finals nerves. They couldn't shake them off early, and as you were saying, the Pioneers have been here 8 times in a row now, so it's just another day for them, I guess.
And Erie, absolute pleasure having you on the call today, and what a contest from the Wollongbar Pioneers and Casuarina going on with doing the job as well.
Thanks for having me, man. It's been a great honour and great pleasure to call this one.
So you can see there, Casuarina, they're there with their loyal supporters as they hold their heads up high, and you can see there, Wollongbar, they'll now lift the shield for the 6th time straight. So that's all she wrote for Far North Coast rugby action here at Crozier Oval for 2019. You can see there on the Cooper scoreboard, it's the Wollongbar Pioneers going 6 straight. They get the job done, 48 over the Casuarina Barbarians, 14. For the team of Far North Coast Rugby and Mark Goff Media, Aneri, arm to Wayne Neville. It's been an absolute pleasure getting on board for rugby union action here at Lismore. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we'll do a presentation for our match officials for the first grade grand final this year first. Our first assistant referee, James McGilligan. Our other assistant referee, Dylan Harris. And our man in the middle, George Toomey. And we've also got another award here, the Best Senior Referee for 2019, and that goes to Kevin Toomey. Kevin, would you like to come forward and pick up your award, please? Also, Mark Lawson, Media and the Farnborough Coast Referees Association gone ahead and got the best player of today's first grade grand final, and that went to number 8, Hamish Mould. Hamish Mould, if you can just come forward. On behalf of Mark Block Media and the Farnborough Coast Referees Association, let's pick the best and fairest player, and you're it today, and you've done the goals. Okay, we've got a few little other items, awards to hand out now that our season's finished. We've got our Senior Rep Player of the Year after our victorious tilt down to Country Champs. The Senior Rep Player of the Year is Victoria Brugova. I don't know if he's still here. I've seen you somewhere. Our first grade best and fairest went to Big Ed McGrath from Grafton. Here he is, Big Eddie. We've got the highest point scorer in first grade. He snuck a few more through this afternoon as well. Sam Perry. we've also got the reserve grade highest point scorer, Doug McDonald. Here he comes. Okay, so I think we might hear from the captain of Casuarina, Vittoria. You want to come back up?
Firstly, I'd like to thank the supporters, especially you guys from Casuarina. Thank you. To our boys, firstly, great season. It's obviously being mentioned that third year in the comp, and we'll make this far. So bigger and better things for the next couple of years. So work hard, and I'm sure we'll be back here in the next couple of years. Wollongbar, you've been the benchmark of this competition for the last 5-6 years, and it's reflected today. 5th in a row, I believe. 6th in a row, that's good, really good. Look, boys, enjoy your night tonight. You thoroughly deserved it, and hopefully we might see you here again next year. We'll see how we go. Thanks, guys.
Okay, very good. We might hear from Wollongbar now, riding in the back, Ben Damon. Sorry, it's Wollongbar Capital. Firstly to Casuarina, terrific season, guys. I mean, you've come a long way in 3 years, so I'm very proud of what you've achieved this season. And I know you'll miss the play, Casey, with a concussion, and I hope you're all the best in the next 2 weeks. To the Wollongbar guys, all the players, they're surrounded just to win 6 in a row, or win 1, it's just great effort to win 6 in a row. We never afforded it all those years ago when we started the run. I'll be very proud of what you've achieved, guys, and yeah, I'll celebrate hard for the night. And finally, I'd like to thank all the crowd, all the Wollongbar supporters that were up there in red and black. I mean, you guys made the club and we just played, so thank you for supporting us throughout the year, and yeah, just up to you. So, just a couple other little pieces of housekeeping while you happen to be here. We've got the Club of the Year Award and the Club Championship. It's not really much of a shock to anybody to hear that Wollongbar have cleaned both of those up. So, just before I lift this trophy up, but one of our guys took playing grand final today, he was injured, played the whole season with us, so I think Brian Scott to go, ready to come up with the trophy. Number 1, Matty Wright, 2. Number 2, Billy Johnson. Three, Lloyd Morgan. 4, Keithy Scott. Number 5, Dixon Easy. Six, Aussie. Number 7, Mustard. Number 8 was Harry Kyle. Happy to get in. Lewis Holman, number 9. Other red goal.
Rossi Damon, number 11. Ball to end, Damon. Number 13, Gibbo. Cap 2. Freddie Bidler, 14. Sam Perry. 16, Reginado. 17, Big B. Oh, 20, 17. Big B, 18. Reggie, other Reggie. Rossi, 20. Rossi, Navagira. Number 22. Ricky, 23. Jeffrey. There's only one more thing to give away before we all wander off, and it's just the Zone President's Award, which is given to the person that has provided a great service to the zone over the course of the season. And I think we all know how much time this fella's put in. The big man behind Sign Off Coach Rugby TV, Max Shabang.